Do you feel very lonely and isolated when facing some really big decisions as an entrepreneur or a CEO? I found when I was a CEO or an entrepreneur that it was a very lonely path, and that when it came to the tough calls, you had no one else to look to except for yourself. I got myself a very good set of advisors who were mentors, who were a lot older than me, who showed me the way, and their training was invaluable. I've used coaches all my life, either in my professional athletic life or in my business life or in my health, and it's really made a massive difference. There is no doubt that if you have a coach or advisor, that your performance will improve. And in our companies that we've worked with, we get margins that, they're not the 8-9% that a lot of so-called good companies get. They'll be 15, 20 or more. And then the returns that you'll get in terms of compounded growth and profit can be way, way higher, so that we get to that sort of 10x valuation, and multiples on your profit year on year. So when I look at what I think are really necessary traits when I was a entrepreneur and CEO, of coaches or mentors to help me to really make it to the next level, what were the things that I looked for? Well, it was 3 things really, when I really boiled it down into what really mattered. Number 1, I wanted to have someone who was ahead of me in terms of experience, who had been there and done that. If I didn't have somebody who hadn't gone through the pain that I'm facing, that really wasn't going to help me. And in my case, I've actually built a business from scratch, from my kitchen, and I got a hedge fund in the USA to back me, give me 25 million in cash and about 20 million in assets in terms of offices and all of that. I knocked on thousands of doors. I know what rejection feels like, and I actually got the big win in spite of all the naysayers and everything else. So I know what that feels like. I also know what it feels like to make the really tough people calls. I had to not only learn how to attract really talented people, give them pieces of the business, etc., but I also had to learn to fire people who, in spite of being brilliant, were not part of the culture or would not fit well. And I had to make some really tough calls, and I will not be shy to push you to do those ones in the interest of the business. You have to think about what is the best thing for the business. So someone who'd been there is very, very important. Someone who knows what the best practices are is very important, and I've had the good fortune of having not only some of the best mentors of the world, some of the chairmen of the best companies around really, but I've had blue chip training. I've got 2 business degrees, a scholarship from the business schools in this, and then I continued with the best practice training that comes from the best organizations in the world, whether it's the top strategy firms, top investment banks, top PE groups. And I've worked with fantastic people all my life who are either incredible people from McKinsey, BCG, Bain, Accenture, whatever. But then really the thing that took things to the next level was the bootcamp of hard knocks, when I worked with many, many entrepreneurs as an investment banker, where I really learned through their eyes, helping them to scale and sell their business, about the school of entrepreneurship. And that's a whole different ballgame. That was like doing another PhD. And it's a really great school of learning. You don't learn that stuff at business school. It really teaches you to take business to another level. So I've got that as well, and I give that to my clients, and it makes a good impact because you've got the real world experience and then you've got all the theoretical best practices. And above all, I wanted to have somebody who held me accountable. So my mentors and my advisors would call me out on my BS. If I made excuses, if I didn't hit certain milestones, they made sure that I cleaned out all of the accountability issues and remember that it was my fault, that I didn't deliver, that I either didn't execute properly or didn't have the right team or didn't put the right culture or didn't have the execution machine in place to really deliver those things. And so I learned. It was very confronting, but I learned, and then I got better. And just like in sport, where I had a coach which progressively taught me to do better strokes and stuff, and that's how I became a champion. Same thing happened in business. I just got coached, I repeated, I iterated, I never gave up. I was open to learning until we got those results. And so that's the kind of thing that you will be receiving when you join our programs and you work with us. It's very intimate. It is, I call it like I see it. It's very direct. It's all about impact. I'm here to serve you. This is all I care about. Let's get your business profitable. So if that's something that resonates with you and you really want to make an impact, come and join one of our programs. Either do one of the masterminds, or do the one-on-ones, or do the online courses, and let's make a massive impact to your business.